labeled this video an affirmative case for school uniforms because there are many cases for school uniforms. They disguise potential poverty that you have in your household. They make the issue more about learning than what you wear in a way. They make it easier for parents who don't have to now fight with their kids over what they're going to wear for school. So there are many cases for school uniforms, but I'm going to give you a case for school uniforms that you don't hear every day. They give administrations a means of controlling the students' aspirations. And what I mean by that is that the school now has the authority to tailor the school uniform to distinguish the aspects of school performance that school wants to. For example, if you have perfect attendance, if you have a perfect attendance, instead of giving the student a certificate that says perfect attendance or an award that says perfect attendance, you can just give them a polo shirt that's uniform compliant that says attendance all-star or something like that in the left breast area, right? It could be a subtle acknowledgement that you're doing something that the school wants you to do, and it still distinguishes you from everyone else who has just the boring basic uniform, right? If you play on a team and the school wants to encourage members to play on teams, then it can give you a uniform shirt with the team logo, blank and blank cross-country team, blank and blank soccer team. And that'll encourage participation. Because even if people, in a way that maybe a certificate or an award doesn't. Like the military does this with stars and bars. The military does this with awarding distinction within the uniform, right? You get the same thing with the Boy Scouts. They have merit badges, distinction within the uniform. And the same thing with even Letterman's jacket. I did all sorts of things. I wanted to be a varsity. I wanted to earn my letter, so I got that Letterman's jacket. And I did it, and I conformed my life to the aspirations of what it took to be a varsity whatever player because I wanted the Letterman's jacket. So within the uniform, within the school apparel, they can build in performance incentives in ways that are actually healthy for the school environment. You do really well on the Georgia milestones. As a fifth grader, you get a uniform shirt that says Milestone Legend, right? It's not that, or the iReady test, whatever the school wants to promote, it, can incentivize you to take the test or the whatever more seriously than you otherwise would. So that's an affirmative case for school uniforms. It gives school administrators a means of actually controlling the aspirations, the voluntary discretionary aspirations of the student through a quality of peer pressure that's actually healthy. So that is, hold on. Yeah, I like school uniforms. And people say, well, students need to express themselves through their dress. No, students need to find more meaningful ways to express themselves than, their hair color and their dress. They should express themselves within the uniform. That's what real freedom, real distinction means. Like I said, the military gets this. That's why they have the stars and the bars. The Boy Scouts get this. Right? That's why they have the merit badges. What we do for Letterman's jackets. Within. Right now, some schools will say, well, if you do really well, you'll get an exemption day, a dress down day where you don't have to wear a uniform. That's the wrong tack. What you need to do is embrace the uniform and get people to distinguish themselves within and because of the uniform. Not think of the uniform let them think of the uniform as a base layer for them to then try to earn distinctions within the uniform. That is the way to go, and that's the way you win. Because you're controlling with their own aspirations. So I'm a huge fan of uniforms for that reason. There are other reasons. It makes it easier for the parents. I think it takes decisions away from the kids in a way that helps them with decision fatigue. I think it's just good for kids. I think it's good for parents. I think it's less fighting, less acrimonious households. And but what I do think is that administrators can use it as a way to conform the students' aspirations. Right? For example, I'm going to be the cross country, the school cross country coach for my kids, my junior high school kids, my kid who's in junior high school's team, right? And I'm going to say, when you complete a race, The race is 3 kilometers, 1.8 miles, 3 kilometers. When you complete a race without walking, you get a uniform, a school uniform compliant shirt that says, Hillsman Cross Country. And that's because you've completed a race without walking. That's the goal. These are I teach in kind of a Title I, school with a lot of poor kids. I don't teach, I coach in that school. And I think it's going to be really actually a little bit helpful, right? So if you complete the race without walking, a 3K, you're 6th grade, you get a uniform shirt that says Hillsman Cross Country. That's going to be, that's a way I can use the uniform to get them to actually try a little bit harder in the race. All right, so that is a case for school uniforms. There are many other reasons to have school uniforms, but mine is that it gives the administration a means to control the voluntary aspirations of the students in the same way that stars and bars do for the military, in the same way that merit badges do for the Boy Scouts, in the same way that Letterman's jackets do for high school sports. School uniforms can be used as an incentive to create like a distinguishing characteristic for whatever, standardized test scores you want your elementary school kids to take, or whatever, whatever perfect attendance, whatever attendance record you want your junior high school students to take. All right. I hope this has been helpful. If you appreciate what I'm doing, you're not going to hear this case any other place. You'll hear other cases, but you're not going to hear this case any other place. So you should appreciate what I'm doing. Go ahead and go to www.funkyacademic.com and kick in $5, $15, or $50 a month, and I'll keep giving you a quality of wisdom you're not going to hear normal places, because other people will give you other arguments for school uniforms. I'm saying that school uniforms need to be weaponized in order to conform the aspirations of the students towards the cultural mission of the school. And they can be within the uniform. Don't offer exemptions from the uniform for doing well. Offer distinctions within the uniform for doing well. And that's how you win. And that's how you get everybody on the same page, rowing the same way in the school. All right. So thank you for your time. And I will talk to you. I was going to talk about Gilbert Arenas getting pinched for a sting, or Shannon Sharp. You know what? I'm going to do that show now. All right. Thank you for your time. Peace. Go to www.funkyacademic.com. Kick in what you do to appreciate the quality of thought I'm giving you, lest you squander your life.